Before we get into the details of this build, I should note that the 5 Thermalright ARGB fans and ARGB CPU cooler, which is a Thermalright Assassin 120X, is all controlled in the MSI Center software. I decided to stay on this one static color because I think it really fits with the aesthetic of the case, in particular this blue LED strip. Now this build features a 6-core 12-thread i5-12400 CPU, and that is an EVGA XC GeForce RTX 3060 graphics card with 12GB of GDDR6 memory, and there's 16GB of XPG Gamix D10 3200MHz DDR4 RAM. And Windows 11 Pro is installed on this Team Group T-Create NVMe solid state drive with 1TB in capacity. And this is all packed onto an MSI Pro H610M-G DDR4 motherboard. Powering it all is this Thermaltake TR2 600W power supply. Speaking of which, this is a Thermaltake Versa H18TG PC case. And on the front I/O we have 1x USB 3.0, 2x USB 2.0 microphone and headphone input, power button, and this little button here controls the LED strip. Onto the rear I/O, the motherboard, we have an HDMI 2.1 port, VGA port, DisplayPort 1.4, 4x USB 2.0, 2x USB 3.2, PS2 mouse and keyboard port, RJ45 Ethernet port, microphone, headphone, and audio input. And this motherboard does actually feature an M.2 slot for a Wi-Fi and Bluetooth card, which I snuck in, attached this antenna just underneath the rear exhaust fan. And the RTX 3060 has 1x HDMI 2.1 and 3x DisplayPort 1.4a. Strapped into the rear of the case, I have a 500GB Hitachi hard drive just set up for extra storage. So now that we know what's inside this PC build, let's check out the gaming and benchmark performance.